This is going to be the fourth and probably final video from chapter 3.1. Still dealing with the law of sines. In problem 23 on page 268, we're given one angle and two sides, and the angle matches up with one of the sides, so we're allowed to do this using the law of sines. So all right, so we have b over sine of b equals a over sine of a. So we're given b to be 100. We don't have a capital B, so that's going to be sine of b still. Now little a is 125, and our angle for a is 110, so we're looking at the sine of 110 degrees. Okay, so now we can do some multiplication and get sine of b alone. So we're left with sine of b equaling 100 times our sine of 110. All over that 125. All right, so let's put that into a calculator. So first I'll do the sine of 110 degrees. Multiply that by 100 and divide by 125. So we're looking at something that doesn't make sense. What did I do? Oh, I'm sorry. That's what the sine of b is. That makes sense. All right, so let's write that in first. So 0.71. So we have sine of b equals 0.751754. So now, in order to solve for b, we're going to essentially take the arcsine of each side. So we have arcsine of sine of b equals the arcsine of 0.75174, which means our b, we take the arcsine of the sine, we just get b back. So b equals the arcsine 0.75174, and let's get our calculator back out. I'll just use the number that we had left over. So we're going to take the arcsine of this. So the arcsine is the inverse sine. So if we hit the second button and the sine, we get the arcsine. And I'm just going to use the answer. So the second button and the dash down at the bottom right, will give us the answer of the previous one. And we get 48.74 degrees. So we'll round to 2 decimals. So that's how we find B. Now we have two angles, so we can find our capital C. So that's 180 minus the sum of 110 and 48.74. And that means our C equals 21.26 degrees. Okay, so I'm not going to write the law again, but I now have capital C, and I have both A's. I'm going to use the A's as opposed to using the 48.74, which is an approximation. If you use that, it'll be fine. All right, so we have C over the sine of that, 21.26 is going to equal 125, which is our A, over the sine of 110. So we have C equaling at 125 times the sine of 21.26 degrees all over the sine of 110 degrees. I'm just multiplying on each side by the sine of 21.26. And now we need to go to the calculator and do this. Let's move it over so we can see what we have here. All right, so sine of 21.26. All right, so we got 0.36. We multiply that by 125. And then we divide by sine of 110. So sine of 110 degrees. I didn't divide by that. So we're going to take 45.32-ish divided by that answer up there. Okay, that's a more reasonable answer. Clearly, it shouldn't have been 0.94. All right, so an answer of about 48.23 should be my length of C, and that would make sense. So we're left with C equals 48.23 as the length. All right, so our three answers, the three unknowns we didn't have, are these three. And that is the solution to this